Hey everyone, welcome back to Toasty TCG. So into this video, I want to revisit a deck that I did a video on in the past, anti-meta warrior decks. The reason I'm talking about this deck again is my original deck profile was focused on just playing anti-meta warriors, if that makes sense. My main focus was we're playing the warrior deck, we're playing like a little small dark package to set up the BLS, and it was just a deck built around basically itself. Whereas this deck list was really built around my locals meta, so I wanted to talk about the differences with this deck versus the old list. The reason that I say it's built around the meta is, unless you're going to like major events, you're not really playing against like Chaos Turbo back to back to back to back to back. You're playing against like whatever people bring into their locals. So my locals right now, it does have like 2 Chaos players, but also has 2 like stun Pac-Man players too. So I built my deck with that in mind, and I'm hoping with this video I can also teach you how to like kind of like build your deck to kind of like metagame with your locals based on what's being played there. So let's get right into it. Warriors and just like other stuff. These are the, the big 9, the triple trinities, the value trinity, removal trinity, trap trinity. You pretty much play these 9 cards in every GOAT deck ever made, except like some people don't play Delinquent Duo in certain decks, and that's kind of it. So you put these in pretty much everything. They don't even be talked about after that. For our warrior package, we're playing double Rhoda, of course, 1 swordsman. This was good into both my my locals metas. Was the flips for the for chaos, and it's also good against like Pac-Man stun decks where it's level 2, so they can't beat it with Gravity Bind or level limit. They have to see the wall revealing light, otherwise they can't beat this. It's going to just run over whatever they try to set. Donzalug, it's Donzalug, he's the GOAT. Warrior Lady, again, this is just another one where it's just a good card. Ninja Grandmaster for spies. Exiled Force, just to kind of like shit on their like sets. Again, this like these are kind of serving the same purpose where you're getting rid of their set monsters. And then you know the vibes. Got Triple Blade Knight. This just mostly it's good against the chaos decks, but just putting like a big aggressive body on the field, if they don't have like any of those like back row like floodgates to stop you from attacking, he's just gonna run everything over. So that's it for our warrior package. Moving on to just like our good stuff pile. We've got one Moth. I didn't want to play anymore. I just want to I want my Nox to be impactful against my chaos opponents and not really affect me. If I lose the 1 Moth, it's really no big deal. I'm trying to play aggressive anyway. The 1 Breaker. You can make an argument that he belongs in the Trinity pile. You could be playing 10 of like the best 1-ofs. Some people don't play Breaker though, so he just goes in the good stuff pile. Double Knock, just good stuff pile, but just 2 of it. Triple Minecon. Some people like you play 1, 2. I wanted to play 3 because this guarantees no matter what matchup I'm playing into, it's gonna be live. If I play against like the chaos piles, it's gonna be live. Like I took like a Koichi, a Moth, a second Moth, if I remember right, and then against like the Pac-Man decks where you take their Medusa Worm, or you take the Locust, and you kind of just like almost like 2-for-1s, because you flip it if they have another like set monster, they lose their set monster. If they have back row, Locust like gets rid of their back row. So it's kind of like almost like 2-for-1s people. And now like when they get it back, they can, if they can't use it that same turn, right? Because like what I mean by that is if they set it and then reflip it, they can't set it again that turn. So it's stuck in attack position for you to run over. So they have to have something to back it up, and just like makes their like flipping up and down like kind of awkward. Triple Kaiku. This card just shits on Chaos decks, has big body, and it's one of our 4 darks, if I'm not mistaken. 4. Donzalug makes 5. Yes, we have 5 darks in this deck. I wasn't super concerned about BLS, but he's here anyway. In my old warrior package, I was more focused on how do I get more darks into my grave to set up my BLS, whereas in this list, I'm just more focused on like how do I beat my locals, and just like if I drop a BLS, I drop a BLS along the way. This list was just more like focused on just playing against the local decks. And then with warriors, there's always just a pile of traps. So to get into that, triple judgment, this is just a staple for warriors. Double dust tornadoes, this is for all my stun friends. Triple dust shoot for warriors. And finally, the main spice, double compulse. This card's kind of crazy. Against the chaos players, this makes them have to resummon their BLS or Chaos Sork, and if they don't have the material, then they don't have the material. It also makes them have to reset their flip monsters. So this is like kind of like a knock where it's going to slow them down a turn, which I think is really cool. So if they like go like Pot of Greed, set them off, and it's like, okay, here's like set Compulse, bounce them off. Now they can either like reset them off and try to like get it again, or it's just like, do they give up at that point and like try a different like approach? So it's like, now it's like the next turn comes around, I could have like the Nox, the Mind Cons, the Blade Knight, the Mystic Swordsman. Like there's so many ways to just out their flip monsters that bouncing it and like forcing them to try it again just like slows them down so much, especially if you have like the follow-up. It's like it feels like a turn skip sometimes. The card's kind of obnoxious. And then the same deal against like Pac-Man decks, where it's like they set their guy, like draw phase is when you bounce it, so that way they can't just like flip it, get the value. That's where you want to compulse both decks, honestly, is in their draw phase, so they just have to reset it. But yeah, this card was an overperformer. I did play against another like an aggro deck, XYZ, and there was a point where it was like X head was equipped with like Y or Z, so it was like 2200 attack, and Compulse like, okay, puts X head back in hand, and then the equipped monsters falls off, goes to the grave. So there's like scenarios like that where it just helped me like play around stuff like my opponent's aggro decks. There was a scenario, I believe someone went to snatch steal my Kaiku, if I'm not mistaken. I let them get to battle phase and attack, and then I compulse it back to my hand. So I get back the Kaiku, they lose the snatch steal, they don't get any value out of it. You could use this like if your opponent goes to knock you, you compulse your own monster. There's just so many, like this card has so much utility, and I'm surprised I haven't tried it out sooner because it just overperformed every single time I saw it. Now moving on to the side deck. This was kind of more of an experimental one, Skill Drain. It didn't get sided in at all, but the main theory was just shit on flip monsters. That was like my whole focus, honestly. It's just like you can probably tell by like the deck building and the explanations for each card, that I was more focused on just shitting on the flip monsters more than anything else. Like the Chaos deck's flip summons, the like Pac-Man stun, like pretty much every monster in their deck becomes just garbage. Double Zing Zenhu. I'm just a fan of Zing Zenhu. If you've been on this channel before, you already know. The third Dust Tornado. This card is just, I just want to play the third Dust Tornado. Then for the spice, I'm playing triple Lava Golem. So this card is really insane against any of those decks that are like Gravity Bind, Level Limit, anything. Like, you let them get 2 monsters on field, you Lava Golem them, and then they're locked under their own Gravity Bind. And this just kills them. Like, you don't have to like do much. Like, you can just like, you can honestly just set monsters to build up a wall. So if they do out the their own Gravity Bind and they try to like kill you with Lava Golem, like you're just gonna have such like a big wall at that point that they're just gonna die from Lava Golem no matter what they do. So this was a really cool tech. And then this was like the actual main hard out to like stun. Triple Trunade, double Asura Priest. So I was looking around on like GOAT era like Pojo forums, and it's actually something recommended back in 2005. The idea is, of course, like you Trunade all their obnoxious back row and floodgates, and then use the Server Priest to run over all their stupid little idiots. And it's just like you just break their entire board. You just like go infinitely like positive against like their board state. Like if they can't stop the Trunade, and then you just drop in a Server Priest, just run over every single one of their flip monsters, and it's just like there's just no coming back at that point. And then finally 2 soul releases. This was just the card for the Chaos decks. I'm already playing triple Kaiku. I'm playing the Nox, everything. The soul release was just like icing on the cake, honestly. Yeah, that's about it. This whole deck, again, it was built to like anti-meta against my locals. And I think this is like something more people should be doing. If you're not going to like major events, you don't need to prepare like hard prepare for like decks that you're not going to see, right? Like there's no Panda Burn at my local, so I'm not playing Wombat, I'm not playing Walk. I don't need to play those cards, so I don't need them taking up space in my side deck when I'm just like, I play at my local monthly tournaments and I kind of know what to expect there, so I can build my deck accordingly. So I think that's something people should take into consideration for their tournaments if you're just playing like a local meta. If you just learn what your local meta is, you can just build your deck around that rather than trying to build for like Worlds. Like you're not going to Worlds, right? So if you like build your deck around just what you're expecting to play against, rather than like looking up like a Worlds deck list and just like copy pasting it, and then like you have a bunch of tech cards that are useless against like your local meta. So I think that was just like the main idea here. But yeah, that's about it. Let me know what you guys think. If you have any questions about like what cards would I side if, say, this X deck came to my locals, things like that, how would I play against that? Let me know. If you like this kind of content, of course, like, subscribe, everything would be much appreciated. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.